afternoon, everyone. A big announcement expected today by Governor Tom Wolf. He is expected to lay out the first phase of the state's reopening plan. That announcement is set for 2 o'clock this afternoon. Channel 11's Rick Earl is at the breaking news desk to go over what we know at this point. Rick?
Will counties here in southwestern Pennsylvania make the cut? The governor acknowledged yesterday that this region has done well in keeping down the number of new cases, but it remains to be seen if that's enough. Of course, we'll find out in about 2 hours. Now, here's what that means. In those counties that get the go-ahead to move from red to yellow, the stay-at-home order will be lifted, but social distancing will stay in place, and large gatherings of more than 25 people won't be allowed. In-person retail and child care can resume. If you need to go shopping, curbside and delivery service are preferred. Restaurants and bars will continue carry-out and delivery only. Gyms, spas, casinos, and movie theaters must remain closed. Now, if you go back to work, the state says you have to follow CDC guidelines for social distancing, and they're still encouraging telecommuting instead. Now, Allegheny County Executive Rich Fitzgerald told me yesterday he suspects Allegheny County will get permission to reopen in the second wave around May 15th. Again, we will have live coverage of the governor's announcement at 2 p.m. right here on Channel 11 and on WPXI streaming apps as well. Live at the breaking news desk this afternoon, Rick Earl, Channel 11 News.
All right, thank you, Rick. And more breaking news. Of course, the number of new cases of coronavirus plays a key role in the governor's plan.
And we are seeing a slight jump in Allegheny County. The health department's reporting 30 new cases since yesterday at noon, bringing the total to more than 1,300 since the first case was reported March 14th. 5 more deaths have also been reported. 99 people have now died from the virus in Allegheny County. The state health department is expected to release an update on county-by-county cases in our next half hour.
And a major developing story, massive layoffs announced by U.S. Steel, and the business shutdown is partly to blame for this. The Pittsburgh-based company sent notices to 6,500 employees. It expects the actual number of cuts to be around 2,700. U.S. Steel is one of the biggest steel makers in the country. Even before lockdown, the industry was facing slowing demand in the manufacturing sector. U.S. Steel idled 7 out of its 10 blast furnaces, including the Mon Valley Works facility. And we're working to see how many of the layoff notices were sent to our local workers.
Some businesses don't have to wait to reopen. Golfing and other outdoor activities are allowed to resume today, but with restrictions. Channel 11's Liz Kilmer reports from North Park.
Certainly, this has been a long-awaited day in Pennsylvania. Golf courses allowed to reopen. And as of 6 this morning, golfers showed up here at North Park, but things aren't the same as they once were. You can see there's a sign here asking that they enter with masks, and they're asked to follow a lot of other guidelines as well. Golfers didn't waste any time teeing off first thing Friday morning when courses finally reopened across Pennsylvania, but with noticeable restrictions. A large sign at North Park spells out the COVID-19 guidelines. Among them, only 1 person is allowed per golf cart. And golfers are asked, walk the course if able, and leave flag sticks in when you putt. We spoke with one of the first guys to show up. He brought a mask and was aware of the new rules.
I think they're very smart moves. You know, we all just need to cooperate and learn more as we go along. But I'm sure, you know, they're trying to protect the workers here and also the people that come out here and golf. So we have to be cautious. This has been a very serious thing that happens. I'm just glad that they're easing up on some of the restrictions.
Also beginning today, marinas and private campgrounds can reopen and guided fishing trips can resume. Now, golfers we spoke with, they're happy that these restrictions have been lifted. The governor says that it's because of physical and mental health. I'm going to talk more about that in a report I'm working on for 5. From North Park, I'm Liz Kilmer, Channel 11 News.
Breaking news now. Pittsburgh police are looking for these brothers, just 12 and 14 years old. Tayshawn and Keyshawn Gibson have been missing since yesterday. They were last seen on Pittsburgh's north side at around 8:30 last night. If you've seen them, you're asked to call police. With the nice weather expected tomorrow, Pittsburgh leaders are reminding you to continue to follow guidelines while outside. That means practicing social distancing and wearing a mask if you're close to other people. The city is evaluating if and when summer activities like camps and spray parks can safely reopen. PennDOT is getting back to work on roads and bridges. The agency stopped all non-emergency work in March. It says workers will follow safety guidelines and other precautions. Some Pittsburgh City employees will also start back today. Public Works and other departments will get back to business, focusing on outdoor work. All employees will be screened before each shift. They will also be given masks, gloves, and hand sanitizer.
By the end of the weekend, more than half of the United States will partially reopen as unemployment numbers hit unprecedented levels. Channel 11's Jacqueline Fell takes a look at how Congress is balancing bolstering the economy and rescuing struggling Americans and businesses.
Even as states move to relax stay-at-home orders and get Americans back to work, Congress says federal help is still needed. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi says helping state and local governments, where resources have been stretched thin, could easily top $1 trillion. That's a tough pill for some to swallow as the focus begins to shift off of containing the virus and onto bolstering the economy. Democrats negotiating another rescue deal also want funding for another round of cash payments to taxpayers, expanded unemployment insurance, and wider broadband access. Republicans are asking for protections for business owners from a rash of lawsuits they believe will be aimed at owners after the pandemic clears and businesses reopen. Republican leaders have even called those employer protections absolutely essential for the next coronavirus rescue bill. That condition could be a clash between negotiators, as Democrats have been critical of the request. Reporting outside Washington, Jacqueline Fell, Channel 11 News.
UPMC is crafting a plan to start testing all of its patients for COVID-19 antibodies. The testing helps provide more accurate estimates about the virus and its mortality rate. It's also a big factor in reopening communities. UPMC says its antibody test should be ready in 2 to 4 weeks. There is a new company managing Brighton Rehab and Wellness Center in Beaver County. That's where more than 60% of the county's cases are centered.
I'm not going to really be able to give any more detail about that in terms of what they did wrong. It certainly has been an extremely challenging situation. We are working with them. Again, we've installed a temporary manager. We have our infectious disease consultants working with them every day, and we will do, again, everything we possibly can for the residents and staff.
According to our partners at the Trib, Brighton will pay the cost of bringing in the new company.
A care home in McCandless has set up an entire wing for COVID-19 patients, even though no residents there have the virus. Channel 11's Mike Holden learned more about the extra safety precautions at the Vincentian home.
A McCandless senior living facility is working to keep its staff and patients safe. There are a number of steps in place, and they're focused on helping those who tested positive for the coronavirus get back on their feet. Vincentian Home, just off of McKnight Road, has dedicated an entire wing to caring for patients who have contracted the coronavirus. The repurposed space is called the COVID-19 Isolation Unit. It's physically separate from the rest of the campus with a set of infection control risk assessment isolation doors. There are even negative pressure air machines that filter the air inside the 14 private room unit so it's not recirculated into the rest of the facility. And there are specific nurses and staff who only tend to that space as the pandemic plays out. Vincentian Home officials confirm no residents in their system have the virus. However, the way that the wing is set up, they are currently caring for 2 positive COVID-19 patients who came from area hospitals outside of the Vincentian facility. Those patients required extended post-recovery care, so they took them into the COVID-19 isolation unit.
It's the mission of Vincentian to care for this population, and we know that they are very vulnerable, and we want to make sure we're good partners to our acute care hospitals also.
And the nurses and nurses' aides who specifically work in this unit are following a number of guidelines regarding social distancing and sanitizing practices. Starting at 5 o'clock on Channel 11 News at 5, we're diving deeper into this story and the future plans for this unit. That's all at 5. Reporting this afternoon, Mike Holden, Channel 11 News.
Families are heading to the north side for an essential goods giveaway. Project Destiny will be handing out toilet paper, paper towels, hand sanitizer, and liquid soap. The event starts in just under a half hour along California Avenue. Representatives from the Pirates, Coppers, and Urban League of Greater Pittsburgh will be there. There's also a food distribution today. This one is called The Big Give. Food will be handed out between 3 and 5 this afternoon at Calvary Church in Irwin, Westmoreland County. Organizers are trying to provide food for 1,000 people.
Giant Eagle has shut down its Parkway Center Mall location. They're going to spend the next 2 days transforming it into a curbside pickup center. The entire store will be closed to customers with the exception of the pharmacy. Curbside pickup begins on Sunday. Giant Eagle says this is just a temporary change. All eyes and ears will be on the governor's announcement today. That is set for 2 o'clock, and you can watch it right here on Channel 11 and on our news app. We're also working on a Back to Business special for our streaming channel, and that airs tonight at 7.
A chilly day, but warmer weather ahead for the weekend. Meteorologist Stephanie Allison has her forecast. Stephanie?
Good afternoon, Gordon. Well, it's been a cloudy day. We've had some showers this morning. A chance to see some spotty showers around here, even into the early afternoon hours. We have this thick cloud deck overhead, and we're going to see these gray skies for us throughout the afternoon hours. You can see out of the PennDOT cams, kind of just those wet conditions on the roadways. Most of it is drying up, but you could see a passing shower in the forecast here as we move into the afternoon hours due to this low pressure system that is slowly going to move away. So really just a passing shower at best. And rain chances are very low, so those will continue to go down as we move into the evening. That breeze stays with us, so it's going to be cloudy and chilly. A look at that forecast for the weekend. That's coming up in the next 15 minutes. Back to you.
The Grove City outlets are dead right now, but that area could be among the first section to reopen. The safety measures that will be in place when shoppers return to the stores.
How young is too young? The mistakes many parents may be making with young children and masks.
And sniffing out coronavirus, how soon dogs might be used to identify people with COVID-19.
WPXI Now. When a major story breaks, this is where you'll find 24-hour coverage. From the Channel 11 newsroom to our crews live in the field, we'll bring you the information you need right now. WPXI Now. Always on when you want the latest on breaking.
Else like the breaking news desk in Pittsburgh. You're going to get breaking news as it's happening.
We have an anchor now dedicated to following the latest information as it comes in.
That is a resource no one else has. So if you see me on the breaking news desk, you know it's an important story.
Severe weather coverage where you live.
On Channel 11 News.
We found out what malls are doing to turn dead zones like this into lively shopping centers once again. Channel 11's Amy Marcinkowitz made the drive to the Grove City outlets. Those outlets are less than an hour up I-79 from Pittsburgh, and they're in an area with lower case counts that could be among the first to reopen. Amy found out how the outlets will keep shoppers and workers safe.
Usually this parking lot is full. Grove City Outlet Mall typically gets 12 to 15,000 people shopping here every day. For 7 weeks, this Mercer County Outdoor Shopping Center has been closed due to coronavirus. Only the bare bones skeletal crews remain on site. The Outlet Mall, which has 130 stores, is gearing up to open up hopefully soon. But things will be dramatically different when shoppers come. Simon Mall, who owns this property, has released a comprehensive COVID-19 reopening plan. Let's talk about employees first. They must test their temperature at home. If it's 100.4, they can't come in. Once at work, they will have to do another temperature test and health screening. All employees will have to wear masks, wash their hands frequently, and maintain social distancing. For shoppers, there'll be signs all over the place helping you navigate the changes. There'll be certain parking lots for shoppers, markers placed along the sidewalks, arrows telling people which way to go and how far apart they should be. They've put tape on every other bathroom sink and stall to maintain safety and distance. Play areas will stay closed. The mall will also have masks and sanitizer on hand for shoppers. They will limit the amount of people inside the stores, 1 person per 50 square feet, and urge shoppers to use debit or credit cards instead of money to cut down on the interaction. The mall is also limiting hours, 11 to 7, Monday through Saturday, Sunday noon till 6, in order to clean and disinfect.
Amy Marcinkowitz, Channel 11 News.
Whole Foods says it will start handing out masks to shoppers. They say the masks will be available in the next week. Everyone working at Whole Foods is required to wear masks. Those masks are coming from Amazon, which owns Whole Foods. Walmart is adding a new service called Express Delivery. The company says it will be able to deliver some 160,000 items from the store to your door in under 2 hours. Walmart says it accelerated the development of the service in the wake of the coronavirus pandemic. The service is expected to launch in about 1,000 stores sometime this month and will expand to around 2,000 stores in the weeks that follow.
As we start to slowly reopen, companies are wondering what the new norm is going to look like. Office designers are working with clients to figure out how to meet the guidelines. Some changes include wider hallways with perhaps one-way traffic and fewer common spaces.
I would say that conference rooms are probably off limits for a while. I think even though we might be under one roof, we're probably still going to be doing Zoom meetings.
Other changes you could see include plexiglass cubicles and hands-free dispensers.
NASCAR has announced it will restart its season, but without fans at the track. Kicks off with 3 races at Darlington, South Carolina. The new schedule features a cup race on Sunday, May 17th, then an Xfinity Series race on Tuesday, May 19th, and another cup race, a 300-kilometer event on Wednesday, May 20th. If you feel like your kids are playing video games nonstop these days, well, you're not alone. Gaming experts say there's been a 107% increase in the number of people using games during the pandemic. But there are ways parents can regulate their kids' screen time by using device controls on the Parental Tools website. Parents can also control games that have online communication and in-app purchases.
Know that you need to make effective transitions from stopping the game into something else with your child or with your family.
If I had just let him play Fortnite as much as he wanted to, he would have never known that coronavirus was even happening.
That just means he's completely focused, see? Parents don't always have to limit their child's screen time, of course. Experts say sometimes moms and dads should just join in and spend some time playing the games with your kids.
Good afternoon, I'm meteorologist Stephanie Allison. You know, we've had cloudy skies throughout the daytime today. Now, spotty showers or a passing shower cannot be ruled out this afternoon. But mostly we're going to see these cloudy conditions, this cool air in place, and then we're going to start to see the clouds decrease for a brighter weekend ahead and also a warmer weekend ahead as well. So we have some nicer weather coming to us tomorrow. And then we do have a chance to see some showers and thunderstorms return back to the forecast late Saturday night and a chance to see some showers around for Sunday. Sunday. So let's take a look at that forecast now here for you today. If you want to get the kids outside, know that there could be a shower around early this afternoon. Better chances to see some drier weather in the forecast here as we move deeper into the afternoon hours. It will be very limited, whatever we do see here this afternoon. Just know that there could be a passing shower out there. So Storm Tracker does a good job of showing you the cloud cover with us. Spotty shower here or there, early afternoon, kind of moving away, but hanging up there in the ridges later on into your early evening hours with a sprinkle or two that could be around in the area. Clouds decrease for us overnight tonight, so clearing nicely. That will allow for a chilly night overnight ahead, down into the upper 30s and lower 40s. So this afternoon, right there in the mid-50s for many of us. Some of us get slightly warmer to about 57 degrees. That's the high in Pittsburgh for today. As you can see, the wind speeds this afternoon about 15 miles per hour. So as I mentioned, that breeze will feel chilly out there. As we head into your evening hours tonight, those marks start to fall once the clouds clear. So it's going to take some time. We'll start to see that gradual clearing for us overnight. And a few evening sprinkles, as I mentioned, mainly in the ridges, but don't be surprised if you see one of those around here early this evening. 42 overnight in Pittsburgh, but many of us fall to the upper 30s, so it is going to be a chilly overnight and start to your morning tomorrow. So if you're one of those that plan to get up Saturday morning and go for your morning run early or jog, you are going to need the heavier coat in the morning because it is going to be a chilly start. But we warm up quickly tomorrow because we are going to have dry conditions. We're going to have a mix of sun and clouds in the forecast. It will be brighter tomorrow, and we get warmer. So that warm up pretty quickly through the daytime on your Saturday. As we head into your afternoon hours, notice today we had a little bit of a breeze. We really will have light winds early tomorrow, but that breeze picks up in the afternoon. So partly sunny day for your Saturday, high of 67 in Pittsburgh, 66 in Beaver tomorrow, 66 in Greensburg. So there's some very nice marks there in the forecast. And also a very good evening tomorrow night to do some grilling out if you want to, because we do have that rainfall chance back in the forecast as we head late into your evening on Saturday night, mainly after 9:30, 10 o'clock. We do have a chance to see some rain in the forecast there, or some thunder, some rain showers around for Sunday, but overall a warmer weekend ahead.
We talked together, and he felt that he'd rather give it away than try to sell it.
How the shutdown of an iconic Oakland restaurant is now helping those in need.
And how soon could dogs could be used to sniff out coronavirus? Thanks for joining us. I'm Gordon Lesh.
And I'm Catherine Amenta.
At Channel 11 Morning News, we help you prepare for the day ahead.
Definitely the heavy rain gear today with temperatures.
Heavier delays for the inbound morning commute.
We expanded our breaking news team to better cover news happening right now and give you new information throughout the morning.
Let's get right to Jennifer Tomazik live at the breaking news desk.
A huge impact on the area. In fact, we just found out.
Don't miss anything happening in the morning. Watch Channel 11 Morning News. We're on from 4:30.
from where you live.
Watch Channel 11 News at 5.
Researchers at the University of Pennsylvania are using dogs to sniff out the coronavirus. Those dogs are being exposed to positive COVID-19 samples in a lab. Once the dogs learn the odor, researchers hope those dogs will be able to identify infected people, especially those who are not showing any symptoms. Dogs could be used to screen people as early as this July. Every week we've been sharing our community's struggle with putting food on the table, and thank goodness so many neighbors, food banks and charities have really come through during this time. We want to highlight the Westview Hub Food Pantry. They usually serve about 15 families a week. Now they're serving more than 200. This week the Greater Pittsburgh Community Food Bank helped them out by donating 200 cases of food to the pantry. Local businesses and the community also donated.
From hardship to helping, the O in Oakland may be closed down now, but the owner isn't letting his food go to waste. He donated 35,000 pounds of potatoes to his church, and now they're being passed out all over Pittsburgh. Hebron Church in Penn Hills has given the potatoes to the Light of Life Rescue, Bridge City Church in Braddock, and even the 171st Air Refueling Wing at the airport.
So over these 3 or 4 weeks, as we continued to clear these potatoes and other foodstuffs out of the O, it was sort of blessing upon blessing.
The Reverend estimates the potatoes will feed several thousand people. Here's a question for you. How do you get a child, say a 3-year-old, to wear a mask?
We can try and make it a game, and we have to try and teach them how to wear a mask.
The many new challenges facing daycare owners as we get back to business.
And we are tracking a potential breakthrough in treating the coronavirus, why health experts believe this is a very promising step forward.
You're streaming WPXI now, your source for original local shows. Get the inside scoop on all the hot events, entertainment, and celebrities in and around Pittsburgh every week. Stream Access Pittsburgh on demand anytime on WP.
have a lot of questions. In a little more than 2 weeks, some counties will reopen and some won't.
If the rate of infection holds up in our area, we could see some movement in reopening.
Stay with Channel 11 for answers about coronavirus.
Watch David Johnson and Peggy Finnegan on Channel 11 News at 5.
A big announcement expected from Governor Tom Wolf today.
We should find out if any local counties are included in the first phase of his reopening plan. That announcement is set for 2 o'clock this afternoon. And the state health department just updated us on cases. We mentioned 30 new cases reported in Allegheny County. There are also 21 new cases in Beaver County and 2 more deaths reported since yesterday there. There are 2 new cases in Westmoreland County. Statewide, there were 1,208 new cases. We have the case count for local counties scrolling there at the bottom of your screen.
We are hearing from a local family-owned business that is opening up now for the first time in weeks. The owner of Molyneux Tile, Carpet and Wood says the company furloughed 95% of its staff. Most of those workers are expected to return within the next 4 weeks. Customers appear ready for the stores to reopen.
All of a sudden, in the last 5 days, we have had more than double the number of appointments that we had a year ago.
Customers will have 3 options when Molyneux reopens. They can request at-home appointments, virtual appointments, or in-store visits, in which case they will be the only customer in the store.
As more states start to reopen, the CDC is updating its guidelines. The plan is still in draft form and needs White House approval, but here's what we know right now. Among its recommendations, it says schools should separate desks 6 feet apart. Places of worship should continue to limit large gatherings, and restaurants should use disposable menus and plates. State Auditor General Eugene DePasquale will audit how the state of Pennsylvania managed the waiver process for businesses, which appealed the governor's shutdown order. He says some business owners complained that the waiver process was too slow and not transparent enough. More than 40,000 businesses filed a waiver.
Devastating. It was devastating.
That daycare owner is going from the shock of closing to the tough choices that come with reopening. She's trying to figure out how to do her job safely and fairly because there will be limits placed on daycares. Channel 11's Jillian Hartman went to Just About Kids Daycare in Peters Township to see how they're preparing to get back into business.
Miss T tells us drop-off and pickup will be done outside. Every child will have their temperature checked, and each kid has to bring their own food to help limit interaction. Also, children over 2 will have to wear masks, which will be challenging.
Try and make it a game, and we have to try and teach them how to wear a mask.
Keeping kids 6 feet apart is a challenge as well, so they are using songs to teach personal space. And speaking of social distancing, many daycares are limiting the amount of kids.
The safety of the kids come first, right? We're not going to over-jam any facility. We're not going to overstep any of the guidelines. That's going to be priority number 1.
YMCA Summer Day Camp takes care of about 1,500 families in our area.
A lot of families, use our day camps as their child care for the summer.
They have 14 locations, and for now, it's first come, first serve.
We might have to turn some away.
But that's the last thing they want to do, so they came up with some alternatives, like possibly adding more sites. The camp plans to keep kids in separate rooms, playing in small groups with the same staff member. Kids will have to wash their hands every hour and not share the same toys. The YMCA still plans to start day camps on June 1st, but that could change. Now, for a breakdown of the safety guidelines at daycares and day camps, just head over to our WPXI News app. Reporting in Washington County, I'm Jillian Hartman, Channel 11 News.
This week, we took a big step forward in trying to find a way to beat COVID-19. The antiviral drug remdesivir is showing a lot of hope for some of the sickest patients. It's a drug UPMC is keeping a very close eye on. Dr. Anthony Fauci on Wednesday from the White House task force unveiled promising results from a clinical trial. He said it showed the drug can be effective in helping COVID-19 patients get better faster. Dr. Christopher Seymour is a clinical researcher at UPMC. He says the study seems promising, but he's also cautioning this is only one study. He said UPMC needs to see more information, but remdesivir included, or could eventually, he says, be a piece of the puzzle in the fight against COVID-19.
How we combine results across those trials will go a long way to informing whether we can use this drug in our patients here in Pittsburgh.
UPMC is watching the data and clinical trials closely and waiting to see what the FDA has to say about possibly approving the drug for emergency use.
The Catholic Diocese of Steubenville wants to reopen churches and do it soon. Bishop Jeffrey Monforton says that he put a task force together to prepare a plan to reopen parishes. Ohio's Catholic bishops hope to hold public mass starting May 30th. Here in Pittsburgh, Bishop David Zubik recently announced new guidelines for Pittsburgh parishes, including how the sacraments can be celebrated. So far, no churches have been given the green light to fully reopen.
Good afternoon. I'm meteorologist Stephanie Allison. Cloudy and gloomy today. We did have some showers earlier. Still some isolated showers out there this afternoon as this low pressure system really keeping the cloud cover around today and a chance of a passing shower here or there. But mostly cloudy, cool and breezy for us the rest of the afternoon. And we also have a flood advisory for the Ohio River I want to talk about. That breeze stays with, as I mentioned, it's chilly. And the flood advisory is really due to the rain that we've already had. And so the river level is a little bit high. So the Mon Wharf area, it floods at 18. So this afternoon, it will be getting near 18.4 feet. This will expire tonight later for our overnight hours. So look at your weekend forecast in the next 15 minutes. Back to you.
Next, how you and your family can take part in a virtual neighborhood sing-along.
You put on Channel 11 Morning News. There is a team that has been working all night to get you the news you need.
The news doesn't stop. We don't stop. We want to make sure you know everything you need to know to get prepared for your day.
We decide what is the most important thing that you need to know when you wake up.
Once a story goes on air, that's just the beginning. It's going to change throughout the morning. It always does.
That's why Channel 11 Morning News is here to get you prepared. We have the breaking news desk. We have Scott and Tricia looking out for you as far as weather and traffic. When you walk out that door,
tracking the weather in your neighborhood.
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, a beautiful day for our neighbors. Would you mind?
The Children's Museum of Pittsburgh is giving people a chance to take part in a virtual neighborhood sing-along. Children and families can record their version of the Mr. Rogers classic, Won't You Be My Neighbor? The videos can be emailed to the museum or shared on social media. They will be compiled and posted on the museum's website.
Mother Nature has provided an Arizona family with the best home security system ever, a huge swarm of bees. There are so many bees, they actually tripped the alarm on the Ring doorbell camera. The woman who lives here got dozens of notifications from her security camera Thursday morning.
I checked the cameras. I literally could not even see my front porch. It just seemed like there was just so many, like thousands of them.
This swarm of bees seems pretty content on settling right next to her front door. Beekeepers say it is swarming season in Arizona, and the bees could fly away on their own in the next few days.
How young is too young? The mistakes many parents may be making with young children and masks.
You're streaming WPXI Now, your source for original local shows. Steelers, Penguins, Pirates, and more. The hottest Pittsburgh sports topics with even hotter opinions. Halftime adjustments. Wednesday nights at 7:30 on WPXI.
Of questions.
Only Channel 11 News can walk you through what it's like taking a coronavirus antibody test.
My test took about 10 minutes start to finish.
Stay with Channel 11 for answers about coronavirus.
Watch Catherine Amenta and Gordon Lesh on Channel 11 Morning News.
As more and more Americans wear face masks in public, parents are facing a dilemma. How young is too young to mask up children?
According to the CDC, children under a certain age should not wear cloth masks. Sarah Dolliff has that story.
Even in a pandemic, life goes on. In Indonesia, nurses pictured holding newborns in tiny face shields. In the U.S., a new dad in Illinois announcing the birth of his baby to relatives waiting outside. Worldwide, parents wondering how to keep little ones safe once they leave the hospital. While more and more areas are recommending, if not requiring, face coverings to be worn in public, the CDC says cloth masks don't belong on children under 2.
We worry about suffocation.
Dr. Jamie Macklin is a pediatric hospitalist at Nationwide Children's Hospital.
If the mask is on too tightly, there is definitely that risk. And so parents might think, well, let's have them wear the mask a little more loosely. that kind of defeats the purpose of wearing the mask in the first place.
Instead, Dr. Macklin advises parents to keep babies 6 feet from others in public and consider draping a blanket over an infant seat or carrier.
That way, the baby can still breathe comfortably, but there's a little bit of a barrier there.
That's what mom Erin Ziegler is doing with 7-week-old Jackson on the very rare occasions they venture out.
Whatever we cover his car seat with is immediately getting washed when we get it home, or anything that we're bringing in the house is getting washed as soon as we bring it home. It's chaotic.
Big sister Jalen is 5. She has a mask.
At the very least, it's keeping her from putting her hands near her nose and mouth when we're out in public.
Safely shielding kids and babies from coronavirus. Sarah Dolph, NBC News.
And doctors say the same rules apply to anyone who may be incapacitated. If they're not able to remove a mask themselves, should they start having trouble breathing, then they should not be wearing one.
Good afternoon. I'm meteorologist Stephanie Allison. So the cloud deck that we have outside right now out of the PennDOT cams, as you see, that's going to stick around this afternoon. Notice the roadways are dry, but we are going to see a chance of a passing shower. May keep them damp here this afternoon. Overall, the bulk of the rain is pretty much done with. Just a passing shower, and the cloud cover sticks around with us this afternoon. So let's take a look out of the PennDOT cam there on McKnight Road, showing you the roadways. They're dry, but look at the cloud cover there off in the distance. So this is really what you're going to expect for your Friday afternoon. And also that breeze that we have out there sticking around for us this afternoon. The winds dial back tonight as the clouds begin to clear out, and that's going to allow temperatures to take a tumble for us overnight. Dry tomorrow, great weather to get outside and enjoy it. We are going to warm up this weekend, so yes, below average today. Many of us coming in below average by 10 to 12 degrees. So it is going to be a cooler afternoon. A spotty shower, as I mentioned, or an isolated shower around in the forecast here this afternoon, as you can see on Storm Tracker. Once we move past dinner time, that threat really diminishes, and overnight there's those clouds start to move on out. So that's that cooler night ahead. So this afternoon, let's take a look at those temperatures for you. Right in the mid-50s for many. A high in Pittsburgh today, about 57 degrees. And that breeze, we'll see it at times between 10 and 15, even up to 20 miles per hour for your afternoon here today. So breezy and chilly, then overnight cold. We fall down into the upper 30s and lower 40s. So tomorrow morning, it's going to feel chilly as you step out the door for that morning run or taking the dog around the block early on in the morning tomorrow. But good news is we stay dry tomorrow, more sunshine back with us, so a brighter start to your weekend. And so that is going to help us jump those numbers up pretty quickly. Look at that jump at 10 a.m. tomorrow morning, 53. From the lower 40s to start your day, or upper 30s, 60 by noon tomorrow at lunchtime, and we get to the upper 60s in the afternoon, a high on Saturday, 67 degrees. Now, we will still see some clouds around, clouds and sun in the forecast for your Saturday. Look at those marks tomorrow. Just beautiful conditions to get outside and mow the lawn as we start to dry things out tonight, overnight, and into most of tomorrow. Fantastic weather until we hit tomorrow evening. So I'm going to show you this. Cloud cover moves back in after sunset. And then here we go. By 10:30 at night, while we're all ready for bed, we're going to see a chance of a spotty shower here at that point. But really after midnight, showers around in the forecast. Could hear a rumble of thunder for us overnight while we're sleeping. And then still some showers around for us on Sunday. So the cloud cover sticks around for the second half of the weekend. Here's your weekend forecast now to show you we are going to be warmer. Our average high for this time of year is 67. So right near that this weekend. The pick of the weekend is Saturday, because we will have showers around in the forecast on Sunday. Sunday's high, upper 60s there. We will get a little bit cooler, but still close to average Monday with sunshine at 64. Clouds around Tuesday at 66, especially the second half of the day. We're going to see rain showers back with us Tuesday night. Back to you.
All right, thanks, Stephanie. Here is Lisa Robertson now with today's Steals and Deals.
Hi, I'm Lisa Robertson, coming to you from home, where, of course, I like to have great beauty ideas that don't require me to go to a doctor's office or a spa. Who has time for that? Can't really get there. Love knowing that there are things I can do at home. One of the biggest things people are talking about in the world of beauty right now is the Beauty Boost, the Beauty Shortcut, that are these dermal pads that really, really help with your skin. Now, This is something that I love because you can do it at home, but I love the fact that we found a small company who's doing an amazing job of it. This is called Wrinkles Schminkles. This is a company that puts out a really high quality beauty treatment in a dermal pad, and they're going to offer it to us at local steals and deals for 50% off. So you can save money and look great. How amazing is that? So I tried these last night for the first time because I've been trying a number of these, ironically, kind of about now, been trying a number of them. And what I found is, oh my gosh, they can be expensive. And then when I heard this Wrinkles Schminkles, I thought, I'm not familiar with them. I don't know. Tried it last night. Love it. This is the one that I did last night on my chest, right? It's a heart. Love it. We're going to have it for the chest, the eyes, and the forehead for the women, and the eyes and the forehead for the men. I love the quality of this. I love how thick it is. I love the quality. It's medical grade silicone. I love how it really sticks to your skin so it can stay on all night. You're not going to wake up with things falling off in the bed because that's just embarrassing. I love how it's not going to be shiny so it doesn't look like, wow, there's stickers all over your face. No, none of that. And I love that I can just use it for 1 or 2 hours if I want a quick boost before I go out or I want to look my best, or I can use it all night, whichever I prefer. It comes with this amazing cleaner so that the pads are always clean. They're going to re-adhere easily. I love the morning afterglow serum as well. And this is something that I guarantee you're going to love as well. Localsteals.com, 50% off, another great beauty boost that you don't have to leave the house for, and I can't wait for you to try it.
The NFL is planning on playing an entire season, with new reports showing they could move some games to Saturday.
Every 10 minutes, Scott and Tricia are going to tell you how to start your day.
You can get a lot of things on your phone when it comes to the weather, but you can't get Scott's expertise. He's trying to narrow in on your neighborhood to let you know what you could expect.
You're going to know what to wear. You're going to know what the kids need to wear.
We call Tricia Pittman our expert for good reason.
You ask Tricia, where is the closure? She knows it, and 3 ways around it.
She's been doing this longer than anybody else. She has a direct pipeline to PennDOT.
They're the best in the city. You're prepared every 10 minutes.
Covering more news happening in Allegheny County. The NFL is reportedly considering playing some games on Saturdays if college football postpones its entire season. The NFL is expected to release its schedule soon, and NFL officials have discussed giving the league some flexibility to move some games to Saturdays. The report says that the NFL will only consider that move if there is no college football, and it is still unclear if college football will be played this fall.
Former Pitt star and NFL wide receiver Larry Fitzgerald has delivered plenty of touchdowns for the Arizona Cardinals, and yesterday he teamed up with some restaurants to deliver food to healthcare workers in Arizona. He showed up at the homes of 3 workers. Fitzgerald says it was a no-brainer to lend his name and time to the cause. Taco Bell will deliver a taco bar to your home that is available via Grubhub delivery or contactless drive-thrus starting today. The at-home taco bar comes deconstructed, packed, and sealed for an easy and safe way to feed a group of 6 for $25. It also comes with recipe cards to make Taco Bell-inspired cocktails and mocktails. There you go, Peggy.
Yeah, just in time for Cinco de Mayo, Gordon.
It's true.
That is all for Channel 11 News at noon. Our next newscast comes up tonight at 5.
You can get breaking news updates anytime at our streaming apps. Just search WPXI on Apple TV, Roku, or Amazon Fire. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.
You put on Channel 11 Morning News. There is a team that has been working all night to get you the news you need.
The news doesn't stop. We don't stop.
I know you have a busy morning. I'm a mom, too, and you're doing 1,000 different things.
We want to make sure you know everything you need to know to get prepared for your day.